there, fishing fans. This is Debbie Hansen for Take Me Fishing and West Marine. Today we're going to run through the basics of how to get started freshwater fishing. It's really pretty simple to learn how to fish. You don't need much in the way of tackle and gear to get out on the water with your family or friends and start enjoying all the benefits that fishing has to offer. We'll go over a checklist that covers the basic freshwater fishing essentials that pertain to tackle, gear, rigging, and bait. You can use these steps to guide you as you learn how to start fishing in a lake or pond close to where you live. Once you get started with freshwater fishing, you can try saltwater fishing, fly fishing, or other types of fishing that might interest you. It's really just about applying the basics and building on your skills from there. This first webinar is basically a lesson in freshwater fishing gear and rigging 101 that'll help you get out to catch fish species like bass or bluegill from a bank or shoreline in no time. All right, let's get started. The first important step is to purchase a fishing license for the state you'll be fishing in. You can buy a freshwater fishing license online or through an approved license vendor, such as a tackle shop or tax collector's office. The cost of a one-day or short-term fishing license is inexpensive, usually less than about $20, although the exact price depends on the state and your residency status. For those under 16, often you can fish for free in most states, and sometimes the license requirement is waived for resident seniors age 65 and over. You can also buy a fishing license online via takemefishing.org by going to the Get a Fishing License page. An annual license or multi-year license will cover you for a longer period of time and is often the most cost-effective option, and you won't have to renew it as often. Always check state fishing license requirements when planning a day on the water, because requirements can and will change from state to state. What you may not realize is that when you buy a fishing license, you're playing a key role in protecting our aquatic natural resources and wildlife. This is referred to as conservation through participation, because each time you buy a fishing license, register your boat, purchase fishing gear or boat fuel, you're contributing to state conservation efforts to keep our waterways clean and fish populations healthy, which is vital to ensure that our natural resources are protected for the future. The next step after buying a fishing license is checking the freshwater fishing regulations. Not only do the fishing regulations give you information about fish size limits and bag limits, in other words, the size fish have to be for you to keep them, and also the number of fish you can keep per day, but fishing regulations will also outline permitted methods for taking fish, for example, with a rod and reel, and also give you any special laws that are in place for specific wildlife management areas or waterways. Each state manages fish resources for the long-term well-being of the fisheries and for the benefit of anglers through these limits. Finding a copy of the regulations isn't hard at all, because state agencies always provide a copy of these fishing regulations either online, via an app, or in hard copy format. Once you have your fishing license and you've checked the regulations, it's time to find a place to go fishing. You can visit the Places to Fish and Boat map at takemefishing.org to help you find bank or shoreline fishing spots in your local area. When you have an idea of the waterway where you plan to fish and the fish species you plan on targeting, then you can determine the best type of tackle, gear, and bait to use. Smaller fish are generally caught using lighter tackle, and bigger fish on heavier tackle. If you're still learning how to identify different fish species, or aren't sure which fish species might be in a particular lake, river, or pond, don't worry. Most state agencies have a fish identification guide on their website, or you can use the fish species page at takemefishing.org to help you identify the different types of freshwater fish you might be able to catch in your local area. Many outdoor retailers also sell helpful fish identification guides and books. Beginners and families often start out fishing for panfish. Panfish is just a small catch that will basically fit in a pan, like a bluegill or a sunfish. Look for panfish in a small local pond or in your neighborhood, someplace that has bank fishing access and is open to the public for fishing. If you want to catch largemouth bass, you might want to look for a state or community park close to home that has a fishing pier or shoreline access by checking the Places to Boat and Fish map at takemefishing.org. Many bodies of water on the Places to Boat and Fish map also include recent catches so you can see which species of fish you have the opportunity to catch in that particular waterway. One bonus tip: if you're planning a family fishing trip with younger kids, try to limit your trips to just a couple of hours and find a place that offers a few other activities so that kids can take breaks in between bites. Once you know where you plan to fish and which species of fish you want to catch, the next step is to gear up with the best type of rod, reel, fishing line, and tackle to start with. The best freshwater fishing rod and reel to use if you're just getting started is going to be either a closed-face, push-button, spin-cast combo with the reel and guides on top of the rod, or an open-face spinning combo with the reel and guides on the bottom of the rod. Both the spin cast combo and the spinning combo will be easier for beginners to use rather than a bait casting setup, which is generally used with heavier line and lures and takes a little bit more time to master. The term combo just means that the rod and reel come together as a set. A good starter spin cast combo will include a closed face spin cast reel and 5.5 to 6 foot medium power rod. If you decide to use an open face spinning rod and reel combo, look for a spinning reel that's paired with a 6 foot to 6.5 foot medium power rod. For either the spin cast combo or the spinning combo, 6 to 10 pound monofilament fishing line will be the most suitable for freshwater fish species such as panfish, bass, or catfish. Next, we're going to learn how to tie one basic fishing knot called the UNI-KNOT. The UNI-KNOT is a good multi-purpose fishing knot that can be used for attaching the fishing line to the arbor or spool of a reel, for joining lines together, and for attaching hooks, snaps, lures, and swivels. If your rod and reel combo doesn't come pre-spooled with fishing line, or if you need to replace your fishing line, you can use this knot to secure line to your fishing reel. Here's how to tie the UNI-KNOT. First, what you want to do is run the fishing line around the arbor or spool of your fishing reel. Then you're going to double back the tag end parallel to the standing line, make a loop by laying the tag end over the doubled line, and then make 6 turns with the tag end. Tag end just means the end of your fishing line. Then you're going to go around the doubled line and through the loop. From there, you want to moisten the lines and pull the tag end to tighten up the turns. Then you're just going to slide the knot down. That's it. The UNI-KNOT is super easy. Once you learn how to tie this knot, you can also use it to join 2 lines together, or use it as a terminal knot to attach your hook or your lure to your line. Next, you're going to learn how to attach fishing line to your reel. Now that you know how to tie the UNI-KNOT, attaching fishing line to your reel will be easy. All you have to do is follow 5 simple steps. First, you're going to take the tag end of the fishing line and run it from the top down through just the first guide that is closest to your reel. Then you're going to tie the line onto the arbor or spool of your reel using the UNI-KNOT. Then you're going to place the spool of line on the floor, making sure that the line unwinds from the spool in a counterclockwise direction. Then you're going to close the bail on the reel, and while winding line onto your reel, keep constant pressure by holding the line against your fingers or against the rod to avoid twists, loops, and tangles until the line comes within 1/8 inch from the edge or lip of the spool. And then last, you're just going to cut the line from the remaining line that's on the spool and thread it up through the remaining guides and out the very tip of your rod. Next, we're going to get ready to rig our lines. Keep in mind that these steps for putting line on your reel apply to spinning reels, which are open face reels, but they're the same steps you'll take when putting line on closed face reels. Just remember to run the line through the hole in the reel face on a closed face reel instead. Now that you know which rods and reels are the best to use and how to tie an easy fishing knot, it's time to learn how to rig your fishing line so you can get out on the water and start fishing. The hook and bobber rig is a classic, time-tested, beginner fishing tackle rig. It's also one of the easiest for families and kids to use because it's perfect for lake fishing off of a dock or from the shore. For bait, you can just use earthworms or red wigglers. Here's what you'll need to set up a hook and bobber rig. 6 to 10 pound test monofilament fishing line, a number 4 bait holder hook, 1/16 ounce or 1/8 ounce split shot sinkers can be used in most situations, a plastic or cork bobber, a pair of pliers for tightening split shots and removing fish hooks, and a pair of line cutters. Here's how you set up your fishing line with a hook and bobber rig. First, you're going to thread your monofilament fishing line through the hook and tie a UNI-KNOT. You're going to clip the excess line near the eye of the hook, and then you're going to pinch a removable split shot sinker about 1 foot up from your hook. From there, you want to attach a bobber 2 to 3 feet above the sinker. And then you're going to bait your number 4 hook with a half of a red wiggler or a quarter of an earthworm or night crawler. Once you have your fishing line rigged, you're ready to head to your fishing spot and make your very first cast. So just to recap, you're going to buy your fishing license, check the fishing regulations, get either a closed face spin cast reel and 5.5 to 6 foot medium power rod, or an open face spinning reel paired with a 6 foot to 6.5 foot medium power rod with 6 to 10 pound monofilament fishing line. You're going to learn how to tie a UNI-KNOT and then set up your fishing line with a hook and bobber rig. Now that you have all the right tackling gear and you know how to rig your line, of course you're going to want to know where the best places will be to place your baits. Do you want to cast near vegetation or maybe near rock piles or bridges? Be sure to tune into our next webinar that covers where to cast for your best chance at catching. In other words, we'll walk you through how to consider different freshwater fishing locations, which types of structure to look for, and the very best times to fish. I can't wait to see each one of you put what we learned today into practice. Don't forget that you can buy your fishing license online today via takemefishing.org and find all the tackle and gear you need at your local West Marine or online. Be sure to like this video on YouTube and add any questions or comments you might have below the video. We'll answer them for you there. Happy rigging, and we'll see you again soon.